Hey, everybody, this is Coach Melissa and Coach C together to do our awards.
How's it going, everybody? It's been a long time since we've been able to see you, and I'm sure I speak for Coach Melissa in saying that we miss seeing your smiling faces. But anyhow, for the end of the season, we have some awards to hand out, and we're putting a little video together. Nothing fancy, but just to say hi and acknowledge all of you guys. We have awards for some specific members of the team, but know how much we all appreciate everything that you guys have done and the support that your parents have put into the program, for cross country this year. So here is Coach Melissa starting us off with our first award.
Alrighty, so first up is going to be the Girls' Most Inspirational Award, and that goes to Becky McGivern. Becky was just a super hard worker and did a really great job and had huge improvements throughout the course of the season.
Becky is a good example of somebody that everybody on the team could follow her lead, and that's what this award probably for both the boys and the girls was the hardest one to pick because we could have really put anybody on the team as inspirational. Throughout the year, at practices, the last people coming in on warm-ups, Becky was always the first one to run out there and bring the last people in, and then everybody else joined her. And those were some of the inspirational things that not only Becky did, but the team as a whole. But we opted to acknowledge Becky on that. But again, it was kind of tough to pick one for that. But congratulations to Becky and to all the girls and the hard work they've done on that.
Exactly. Okay, and then up on the boys' side, we actually have two extra awards for boys since we had a really big boys team this year. So we have a coach's award, and that's going to go to Travis Jenkins. Travis was another one that I never had to remind to go back out and run in with kids once he finished his laps. And he also huge improvements, and there were many days that I saw him running around on Saturday by the farmer's market or somewhere in between the farmer's market and Chick-fil-A in Ranson there. So that was awesome.
Well, Travis, very well earned award for you. You have always been a team player, both track and cross country for us. And I know I've taken you aside a couple times, especially this year, because you really wanted to play tennis. And I told you I wanted you out there and stay with us to stay in shape, and because you could be an example for some of the younger kids coming into our program. And that's the role that you really filled this year, and I really do appreciate that. Not to mention when we had the staff breakfast at school, and you were the one that actually brought me a plate of breakfast food up, so I appreciate that. But good job, TJ.
Awesome. And then we have an extra boys award. So the boys most inspirational goes to Nick P. Nick was just awesome. He cracked me up almost every single day. I remember one of my favorite conversations with him was how he didn't believe in the 2-day, what's it called, Coach? The 2-day training effect until after we ran at Cape and Bridge. Cape and Bridge is it's a hard course. It's kind of nice and normal until you get to about halfway through it, and then you've got about a 2/10 of a mile steep incline up Killer Mountain, and so it's a hard course, and everybody was really sore after running that one, and he just cracked me up, and he was also always really worried about other runners too. So like if somebody wasn't running quite as hard, or he felt like they were breathing a little bit extra hard and was having a hard time, he'd ask like, "Hey, is so and so okay?" Or are they feeling okay? So just a really sweet all around kid who just made me laugh almost every single day during practice.
Nicky P, and I got used to calling him by his nickname his family gave him, calling him Mighty. He was a mighty big help to this team. Another person that I had a lot of one-on-one conversations with, because I told Nick that his job all year was to not let anybody between him and Connor. And he took ownership of that responsibility. And he worked his butt off to keep anybody from passing him aside from Connor. And I can remember when we were at Capon Bridge, and I'm running up the hill and trying to get back down to catch people at certain points. And I'm like, where is Nick? And early in the race, he had hurt his ankle. And he didn't give up. He finished that race. Mm-hmm. And, that is the prime example of the attitude that he brought to the team. And in a lot of respects, he's kind of like me. He's kind of headstrong, and he speaks his mind. Just needs somebody to pin his ears back every now and then. And I don't have a problem doing that with him because of all the positive that I get from him. Next year, we have Connor, and Connor's going to do his thing. But going into next year, Nick is probably going to be the hardest person to replace because of his attitude and his leadership that he brought. So that's a cue for all you guys coming back. You have some shoes to fill for Nick, and the team's going to need somebody to step up, and I expect everybody to try to do that for us. But Nick, I appreciate you these last couple of years. I've had the privilege of coaching you, and I hope for great things for you when you go over across the street, buddy.
Yes, agreed. All righty, and that brings us now to our girls and boys MVPs of the season. So first, our girls MVP is going to be Bellamy Fonts. She was our fastest girl, and I don't think I was ever so excited to have somebody break her wrist so that she couldn't play volleyball. Because I know she wanted to play volleyball this season, but ended up running with us because she couldn't, because she broke her wrist. Which again, not that I wish anybody to break any bones, but it did work out well for the cross-country team. Bellamy was a joy to have on the team, worked super, super hard, and was just one place away from a medal at the MAC, but she still ran super, super good. And again, we were at Capon Bridge for that, and that's a really, really hard course, and but she did run super, super well. So proud of her this season.
Bellamy is a character, and the times that I've been able to cover classes at Wildwood, and I've seen her in the halls or had her in classes, there was always a sense of what's going to happen next, and she brought that to the cross country team, and gave us a little bit some comic relief sometimes, and made things a little bit lighthearted sometimes. And we needed that because I know I can be kind of hard-nosed with you guys sometimes. And so Bellamy kind of gave us a distraction now and then. But exactly what Coach Melissa said, she worked hard. I know that cross-country is not her favorite thing and track's not her favorite thing. But once she gets out there and commits herself to it, I've never had a problem with the way she applies herself and the effort that she gave us. And Bellamy, like every single other runner on our team during cross country, had noticeable improvements in their times from the beginning of the year to the end. And it's just indicative of the hard work that they all put in. I hope that Bellamy will stick with cross country and track over at Jefferson. And she continues to apply herself. She can become a lot better than she is. But she was a good leader for us, and her performances showed that. And her support of her teammates was always present. So Bellamy, I thank you for that. I'm sure your teammates thank you for that. Great job. Congratulations.
All righty. And our final award goes to the boys MVP, which goes to Connor Myers. Connor's just crazy fast. He's just a sweet, sweet kid. And he is just crazy, crazy fast. And is just a good all-around runner.
What is there to say about Connor? I think I've had to talk to him or talk about him for MVP awards now for what this is at least the fourth time.
Yeah. Oh, that's right, because of track.
Counting track and cross country, probably the fourth time. And I'm running out of superlatives to use for him. And because he's not a great student, let me define superlative. That means a word that tells you how good you are. Okay. So I'm still trying to figure out who told him he's supposed to be in honors classes, but that's a story for another time. But Connor was a blessing from the first time he showed up at off-season training as a sixth grader. And I'm like, who is this little kid that everybody's talking about? Now he's taller than I am, and um, his attitude and his ability has improved each season. And I expect that to continue next year for his eighth grade year, final season over at Wildwood. Um, but he's a great young man. He's personable. He's kind. He's supportive. Um, he's attentive. He's very coachable, and um, you can't obviously ignore his talent and his ability. Uh, I um, I want him to just get that hunger and push himself. He pushed himself really hard during cross country, and I was really looking forward to a track season this year of him just blowing people away. But we'll save that for next year. But there are very good things ahead of Connor. And it's all dependent on him and the hard work he wants to continue to put into it. Much like Bellamy in volleyball, I just am concerned about Connor on the basketball court. Um, so every time he's dribbling that ball and going up for a shot, I'm like, please don't foul him. Just get out of his way. But anyhow, Connor, great job on another cross country season. I hope when you view this video that you'll use it as something to motivate you for your eighth grade cross country season and to start getting ready now. And as we wrap up all these awards for everybody, and I know Coach Melissa will have something to add to this, but guys, gals, all of you, um, already know how I am about things. Being kind of passionate and emotional about things. And even on this video, I know I'm the same way. I miss you guys, all of you. And I had such a huge time, great time coaching cross country. I always do. If I could coach full time and not teach, that's what I would do. And you guys are a big reason for that passion of mine to continue. Thank you for the season, for the headaches as well as the smiles you gave me all year. I always told you it's all about your effort, and I hope that I reciprocated that effort for you guys all year. Um, I appreciate each and every one of you, parents. You were a huge support for Coach Melissa and I, as well as the kids all year long, getting them to and from practices, being out there at meets, helping out with things for our eighth graders with posters and gifts. It was more than Coach Melissa and I could even hope for. So parents, you get a huge thank you as well. Coach Vines, you initiated a lot of things back in the background that the kids didn't see, so I appreciate all your help there also. But boys, girls, young men, young ladies, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I really appreciate it. You guys continue to stay safe and stay healthy. Those of you that are going on to Jefferson, I hope to hear good things from you and about you. And you can always bend my ear, send me a text message, send me an email, whatever. And those of you that I'm going to see at Wildwood next year, keep things in mind and keep your goals in mind for as an individuals, as a team. We got a lot of things to look forward to. So thanks again, guys.
Alrighty, so I'm going to echo a lot of what Coach C said, but yeah, stay healthy. We do miss you guys. It's kind of really hard. You don't realize how social you are until you can't be social anymore. And definitely keep running. I enjoy seeing some of you run around in the neighborhood, so it's lots of fun to see. So just keep running.